About 3 weeks ago, Boko Haram beheaded close to 70 farmers in Borno State, northeastern part of Nigeria. Amid a public show of it, it was quite a gory incident, which admittedly wasn't the worst atrocity that has been associated with a terrorist organization over the years. However, a lot of Nigerians, that the attack stands out for the sheer symbolism of it, particularly the growing danger that farmers in the part of the country now face if they must harvest and evacuate their produce for sale. So in the more than 10 years since the Boko Haram terrorists struck the first blow on the Nigerian agricultural sector around the Lake Chad Basin, one of the most fertile areas of the country has constantly been under threat. Farming operations have swapped places with survival instincts as the theater of war continues to expand. Joining us now from our Abuja studios to look at this, how the uptick in Boko Haram and other terrorist activities are affecting food security, employment, peace in the northern parts of Nigeria, is Shittu Mohammed, the former national chairman, Advanced People's Democratic Alliance. Welcome to the program. And did I say former presidential candidate of that said political party? Let's just quickly go straight to it. Food inflation is now pegged at over 18%. Borders have been opened, but to a large extent, farmers are still having a terrible and a very horrid time in the north. Recently, we had what I call the onion debacle. For a couple of weeks, onion became gold as the price of onion skyrocketed over 450% at a point. Now, it's still trying to attain some level of normalcy in pricing. All of this attributed to the insurgency and the logistical nightmare in the north. Can you discuss for us and make sense out of all of this I have posited?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
My brother Abati Tudun. Yes, I'm hearing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tundu, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
When you were greeting Tundu, you are smiling.
As I can.
You didn't smile when we mentioned my name.
No, you are a boss. You are a senior brother. I have to give you that respect.
Okay.
And then Tundu father has to be somebody we all love in this country. And we still love him. We pray for him every day.
Thank you, sir.
And my brother that asked the question is a fantastic human being that asks questions in a manner that you like as a person. I like him.
Thank you, sir.
In coming to the question, we have to face a reality as a country. We have failed in the area of our agricultural sector development. And the country is left between the blue to deep ocean in the sense that as a people, we need food. As a people, we need everyday items that we need to use. And as a country, we've been refused to develop the sector that will provide all these basic need of us in our daily needs. So now we could not provide all this necessity. Therefore, it is important that we open the border. We have to now, even while we open the border, even if you ban rice or you ban any other product, it is very, very easy to come in. That is the reality. So what we need to do, 15 years ago, I said this on AIT. If you reverse back, I was having this thing with Benga, and I told them, look, we as a people must take a deliberate action as country and as people. How do we take deliberate? We must develop that agricultural sector. That is what God has endowed us with. But we have failed. And now, nobody can even go to farm. Security has come. What built up this security is for it's a prayer to all Nigerians. We all lack that sincerity of purpose, and we don't even love our country. With the national interest, which we're supposed to put above the personal interest, come last. Personal interest take the first in our heart, and that is why we plunge ourselves to where we are today. We had beautiful programs that would have helped us in clearing these issues, that today we will have been exporter of agricultural product. Today, the world is faced with this pandemic. Instead of us to use the advantage, to take advantage of this, what is happening in the world, and then develop our economy, we've now find ourselves in the hand of insurgency. And we walk ourselves into it. We walk ourselves to it in the sense that when we're buying motorcycle for young Nigerians from the rural area, migrating to urban area, when they get to urban area, what do you think will happen? When we are, as a people and as a government, we left forest open. Look at Sambisa Forest. This is the area that the best claim to be the best vegetation for plantation of gum arabic. We left it value. Nothing is happening there. Look at Ore Forest. Ore Forest, you could put coffee there. You could put cocoa in Ore Forest. You left it there. Nothing is happening, no activities, no economic activities around all these forests. When you are talking of this area, Briningwari area, the forest there, we left it, nothing. There's no economic activities which will have even absorbed our young ones into those rural areas. We refuse to make our rural area attractive to even stay. So everybody has migrated to urban area. Now there's no job. From 20 million population to 200 plus population. Now you have over 60 million Nigerian youth have no job, no provision for their job. All we look at is that instead of looking at merit in whatever we are doing, we look at whom do you know. So therefore, we have plunged ourselves now into where we are. We must open the border. If we don't open the border, the basic need of Nigerians is becoming a challenge, even to people and to the government. So border must be open. But what I want to say here is to provide solution. Now that we have partially opened the border and a lot of things will now come in, we have to now look inward. Every country has its peculiarity. We don't take and borrow everything from IMF, borrow from London, from Paris Club, we don't. We should sit down. We have our economists in our universities. Can't we gather them and sit them down and look at how we provide solution? Why must we even be the producer and exporter of raw materials? Why can't we refine those materials before we export it? When the oil has come to $20, $25, you can refine this oil in Nigeria, sell it to West African country, and make more money even than selling the crude that you are selling at $20 or $30 or $50 to other country. I think all of us are to be blamed for this, what we are plunging ourselves into, and we must take national interest above our personal interest to be able to come back to table. We must look at our constitution. The constitution is already obsolete. The constitution is no more what we can work with. Now, when you look at exclusive list and you look at concurrent list, it's a mess up. There are areas you said the state government cannot construct this, state government cannot do railway, or state government cannot do communication. Now, you need state government, you need local, not even state government, you need local government to now be the propellers of our economic development. How do you do that? Let these young ones today, because to curb security, you must first of all provide solution. The solution is to employment opportunity. If you don't give young Nigerians employment opportunity for them to have life, therefore, whatever, if you bomb the whole bomb in the world and be bombing all our forests, they will still exist. Therefore, my solution to this, we have opened our border. Now let all Nigerian youth go back to each local government they come from. And then let each local government come up with one crop or the other. We are endowed with every mineral that's available in the world. If you are talking of aquatic resources, we are endowed. You can take those within coastal area to start fishing, to start rice, to start other things. If you are talking of agricultural resources, in abundance. If you are talking of mineral resources, we have it everywhere in Nigeria. Let each local government now come up. If it is aquatic resources they want to now take comparative advantage, let them take comparative advantage of that. If it is agricultural resources the local government want to take comparative advantage of, let them take comparative advantage of. If it is mineral resources, let us take comparative advantage of their mineral resources. Let us ban exportation of raw material, including our crude oil, as I've been telling us. Why will you be exporting your crude oil, which you can get at least 150 different byproducts in it?
Shittu.
And you are just selling it at giving out rate.
Yeah, Shittu. Yes.
Can't we refine it, then be able to?
Yes, I mean,
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, excellent point there about solution. And we're always interested in solutions. But I'd like to ask you this question. You're a farmer and a politician. And the Nigerian government, the federal government has always been saying that, look, security is being politicized in Nigeria. I don't know what you think of that, but the question I really want to ask you is that it looks like bandits and terrorists are particularly targeting farmers in Zamfara, in Borno, in Katsina, in Kaduna. In some of those places, they even collect what they call harvest fees, sometimes up to about $1 million, before they can allow, farmers to reap their crops. Do you know of any special reason why farmers seem to be particularly targeted? And it's not just in the north, even in Ondo State.
That is psychological war. They have put fear in everybody. The least now with the psychological war, that means in the next 6 months, we will not have enough food. It's already psychological war. Now you are talking that onion, which you used to, it was just very cheapest commodity. Today, you are talking of it going to 400, 600. It's skyrocketing and it will go to 1,000. Maybe you buy one at 1,000 naira. That is psychological war. And that means they are already achieving their aim. So therefore, the psychological war is one, it will take the country that will now not have food. And as soon as you don't have food to eat, then people, plague will come. Different diseases will come. Secondly, the psychological war on our military is that they have now seen them failing. And that's why people are now calling for them to go. They've achieved that as of today. Thirdly, is telling the country that you have failed us. The country is failed. Who will go to farm now? I'm a farmer. Each time I'm going to my farm, in fact, 2 nights ago, many people call me, please, we love you, we want you, don't go to that farm again. They will take you, these people will take you from your farm. I still go to farm yesterday morning, but I've never feared until yesterday morning. When I was in the farm, I asked myself, if they take me here, what happened? So I have to quickly leave the farm. So they have instinct fear in me and you. And what that will cause is that there will be no food for me and you in the next few months. And whatever policies we are considering, until we are able to put food in the table of masses, there will be uprising. There will be a lot of things. And that is why we need to come back to look at our constitution, how it helps us, to look at how do we now stop this crisis. Already we are in food crisis. Full food crisis. The flood took its own. The insurgency has stopped us from going to the farm now, especially now that it's during harvesting time. Because this is time for harvesting. So if you cannot harvest your product, what has it been? That means farmer will become poor. You will not be able to plant anything next year, and there will be hunger in the country, and there will be poverty, abject poverty. That is what it has is going to happen now.
Oh dear, I wanted to ask you, since you've just said that you're now afraid to go to the farm, what is your take on the comments made by Garba Shehu, the presidential spokesperson, which was roundly criticized? He said that the poor farmers who were murdered in Zabamari, who were massacred actually, should have gotten military clearance before going to the farm. Are you aware of farmers having to apply for such clearance? Will you have to apply for such clearance and have military backup before you go and harvest your crops?
I believe probably it's a slip of tongue. I don't like commenting on individuals. He may have his own reason, but me, as a farmer, I have no money to take military. I have no money to even go and apply for clearance. There's no even military around my farm, so I don't know how I'll get clearance to go to the farm. What these people have signed, forget about getting clearance, taking military, they have sent. You say? Come again? Hello?
Hear us? Hello, Shittu Mohammed. Are you still with us? If you could just continue.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Well, if you
so what I'm saying here is that farmers does not need clearance to go to the farm. Maybe what he's referring to is that area that has been declared a war zone, which is around Maiduguri there, probably they have their way of getting clearance. But how many in the areas like Niger State, like FCT here where I belong, I know that we don't have any security clearance. But it could be talking of that area where you have insurgency and other things. So therefore, what I want to tell Nigerians is that it's time for us to rise. It's time for us to now look at other way that we could save our country from the hands of whoever want to bring us into this crisis, both food crisis, life is no more safe, and that we must, as people and as government, start to take deliberate policies, clear all these forests and make it economically vibrant. How do you make it economically vibrant? It's for you to bring in economic trees that people can now start working on this. If you have population, if you populate those forests with economic activities, you won't be able, nobody will go and take somebody and take to the forest. But the forest is living value there. So we have to take a deliberate policy. Our military can clear this forest. Then we plant either Goma Arabic in Maiduguri, either we start our wheat there, or we go to the west and plant cocoa and plant coffee and plant other cash crops. And you can go to the east. You can go to other farm. You can start palm in Bayelsa, in Rivers, in Imo State, Abia, and all that thing. And you can go to those coastal states and then promote what you call fishery. What you call streams is more costlier than crude. Let our young people, these are what we should do. We must now and look at our concurrent list and look at our exclusive list and take out some obsolete, obnoxious constitutions that are tied our hand and be able to now juggle around them. Let the government put constitutional committee. Let them that are those people that can now review and look at the committee, look at the constitutional with one mind. That is with national interest, and then juggle it, and then they can now take it to the National Assembly, and National Assembly now look at them. This must be done fast because we must kickstart our economic activities like yesterday if we want to achieve something as a country. Look at ordinary Dubai. Dubai was able to think, okay, we have sand, we have sun, and we have ocean. And they turned into tourism. Everybody today wants to go to Dubai. Look at China. China were worse than where we are. See where they are today, second largest economic in the world. We are even giving more abundant resources in this world than any other country. That the world must now start looking at Nigeria. Why do we put up? We should now look at, okay, how do big countries living on, coming to us to buy food? Now that we are now to be going back to those big countries to buy food, to bring food to our country, and we have the abundant resources here. It's saddening. I'm saddened this morning as I'm talking to you, because this is a country we are looking when we were young, that it will be the greatest country in the world. And see where we have find ourselves. So, but the hope is not lost. Chief Abati, we are still young, we can still work together, and then as a country, we can now provide solutions. Because when you have problems like this, the next thing you do is to provide solution. That means there's no country that doesn't go through what we have gone through, we are going through right away. But how we handle and deal with the matter is what will help the country. Probably, God wants to place it in our hand at our own generation, me and you, Chief Abati. Maybe our generation should now rejig and be able to put the country in a better and straight pedestal where we can now create a country that will work for all of us.
Well, thank you very much, Shittu Mohammed, for joining us this morning on The Morning Show. We thank you for your insights. Thank you.